Hello and welcome to Chess with Simon. I'm Simon. We're going to do something radical tonight. Probably quite stupid actually. And no, we're not going to play bullet chess. I'm not in the mood. And I'm so often in the mood, but I'm not in the mood. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take twice on d4 here. This is not the radical stupid thing. This is a sensible thing. We're going to do some sensible things as well. We're going to take twice on d4 and then we're going to play like knight f5. And then we're going to wonder why we can't play the fork on e3. Because of this? But I mean, really? What about this? Why doesn't that win for black? I mean, it might not. Looks like a fork to me. The mysteries. Anyway, we've got some time to sort that out. For now, we're going to just take, and then we'll work out where to put that knight. But f5 looks like a knight. Work out where to put the g7 knight, right? This, regular viewers to this channel will know that I think I'm winning this. And actually, I think it's more difficult than I thought it was. But I still think I'm winning. So, for instance, one thing that could happen here. So let's look what's happening here. What am I trying to do? Well, if black does nothing, if white does nothing, I don't even know nothing looks like that, then I can do this, and I'm sort of forking these two pawns. And then if this, and the queen's in the back, and just like what Horde Coach is doing to me as black, I think I'm in. So, yeah, I just want to move the knight here, and I don't understand. I suppose another thing which we could say is you could move the knight here, attacking this, actively attacking, and then after the push, which may or may not happen, you could play this. It's the same, isn't it? Perhaps a bit more forcing even. Should we do that then? I think we'll do that. Should we go here? We go here, we attack this pawn. What some would call the e4 pawn. I mean, again, white could defend the e4 pawn. Same idea. And what's white's best move here? It's quite hard because all these pawns are sort of restrained, aren't they? Look, everything's restrained. Okay. Knight d6, as we say in the trade. This one, now, Horde Coach is slightly clever what Horde Coach is doing, because this queen is just is pretending there's no threat here, because the threat is so slow to crystallize, it's just agony. So I'm going to try to queen a pawn here, but the queen's got ample time to just swing around and mop them up. Are you meant to be a bit more systematic about it? I mean, I don't want to resign this game because I want to... It's fine to show how it works. But I'll try to build up some kind of systematic thing, but yeah, the pawns are so slow really, and they're weak when d4. They're weak when the queen or a rook gets behind them. d4, and we got this Maroczy we've been aiming for. I don't think it's a massive advantage. Well, I think it's a nice position for white, but takes. So knight d7, and then the knight's coming to f6, and then we're just playing the end game. I mean, there's nothing earth-shattering to do. I think the knight sits quite well on f6, right? It's quite stable on f6, and it's stopping the rooks. It's stopping trouble on the f7 square, and therefore it's a good move. So we're going to bring this knight to f6 with the idea of blocking out. I suppose it's just possible that Keith will start playing like g4. Well, anything's possible, right? Maybe the knight wasn't best there even. Maybe what I could have done if I was really worried. You know, knight here. If white's going to play g4, I suppose if I'm really worried, you can play c6. And then, I don't know, hit the bishop, stick a knight. I don't think that's very good actually, because I think then black's probably a bit worse there. So, well, is there a case for knight c6? I don't like it as much. I don't like it as much because I want to be able to play pawn c6. Can't quite explain why. Just feels more positionally correct. That's my best answer. More positionally correct. What if this rook tries to take this pawn? Oh, come on. Is that really going to happen? Might happen, mightn't it? Okay. Knight here. Rook here. King there. Yeah, it'll be alright. Rook here. Knight here. Rook's got to run. Alright. Liam was true to his word and has played the Queen's Gambit declined. I seem to remember losing on time in a Catalan against Liam years ago. It's amazing how these things stick in your memory. I'll see what he's got on the main line of the Queen's Gambit declined. Because, so this is me not playing a Catalan, right? Well, you can play the Catalan with the knight on c3, but it's not really the main line. You play knight f3 or g3 or something. I mean, should we play knight f3? I did see an interesting line in the exchange variation, but I don't think I want to play that. I want to be mathematical. You know, let's see if we can exploit the slight positional advantage which we get in the Queen's Gambit decline, which is basically about the fact that it's hard to develop the Queen's bishop, the light square bishop. Let's see if we can do that. Check from Gary. I've had to think about it. This. It's a good move, actually. My argument is the king can't come around because the bishop attacks the pawn. Because what would be frightening is if my king was cut off and then the black king could come around, but the bishop can cause trouble while the black king is on the way round. And so allowing the king to be cut off by the rook, I don't think it's a problem. But what I didn't really want to do, I haven't really looked at this, but I think this would have been a bit scary. Well, I mean, maybe it wasn't scary. Maybe it's not scary. Maybe I should play that. Maybe I should play king here. Maybe that's even safer. Gosh. Because here, what can black even do? Alright. Alright. We'll do that then. Now I should play this move, got his knight back in the game. Should we put that bishop where it should have been all along on c6? I don't know why I started moving it around. Well, I do know why, because I had some spurious, shallow attacking ideas which all evaporated on contact with reality, but that bishop sits so well on c6, really, and it's doing good work on that diagonal. I mean, it may be that white finds a way to exchange it off with a knight. But not immediately, because here. Ooh, well. Oh no, the rook goes. That's exactly why that bishop's lovely there. It's one of the reasons it's lovely there. I don't know. I think c6 is a good square. I'm slightly rushing this. I shouldn't, but, you know. Be all right, right? I think it's going to be all right. I mean, what we've got to be a little bit careful of is the knight here. I suppose you've got to get the rooks off because you don't want the knight arriving at h6. It might be okay though. Do you think this is still a draw? I think this probably is still a draw, you know, because I think, well, I mean, there's a check here if we're lucky. Wow. All right, well, fine. I like my bishop here. I always liked it there. I had a aberration when I moved it away. It's good to accept our mistakes. Okay, king here. So my argument is this now. My argument is this is winning. Is it? Because, for instance, king here, rook here, and I'm taking all these pawns, unless this, but my king is in time to defend the pawn. So my argument is that rook c1 is winning. Do we believe it? No. Rook d1 is winning. And then, for instance, if king c6, you push the pawn with check, then the king's got a decision to make. You just put, I mean, well, let's see. So let's see if black's really worried, like this, check, and black wants to stay in touch with that square there, and then this. Yeah, you see, that's quite clever. Check. That might be it. All right, so here you go here. I suppose then black goes here. Whoa, so tenacious. So the point is, so what worries me now is this: rook d1, king here, check, here, 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 then you go here. Oh, now here, but now the push, now here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, you can do things like this. But look, it doesn't work. Wow. It's a complicated world out there, isn't it? What if we just push the pawn then? I've run out of ideas. Let's just push the pawn. Now what? Rook here. King here. King there. Oh, groan. Well, maybe we'll just try these things. And I don't know if Joseph watches this show. Is it Joseph? I think we'll find out, won't we? I mean, and black's better. Is all I've got to say. Okay, I have to think about that. We're a bit stuck, aren't we? What's my guess here? Do we not take and then play rook c what? Rook c8. Oh, we can play rook c8 straight away. Takes, takes, rook c8, queen e2. So the database wants to play rook c8 straight away. Really wants to. Queen e2. Alright, we'll do what the database says. Why are we doing it though? Why is it advantageous to keep those pawns on as opposed to tension? We're doing it because the database goes white and grey. Rook c8. Oh, not this again. This is always what happens when I pass on a game. This one, I was out walking the dog tonight. I'm so keen to play f5 here. So amusing. And yet, so incorrect. I mean, what's chess about? Chess is about fun. And this is enormously good fun, this opening. Look at the stats. They're absolutely terrible. And the reason the stats are terrible is because White's development's a lot better. Let's not play something with a clear refutation, in correspondence. That's only going to end in one way. Really? Alright, well, Simba Caned, are you watching the show? But this is going to lead to a worse position. Grrr. Okay, Justin's given me a lot of tough moves to cope with, but this is not one of them. I'm taking the rook. I'm not obviously losing in the short term. This one, I can cope with this. I'm just going to wait until those pawns run into my pawns. And then, won't there be a zugzwang somewhere? I mean, if I was being really positional, I'd put my pawns on light squares. Oh, okay, we'll be really positional. Okay. E5, 98, F5, grown. Okay, here's the rash thing I'm going to do tonight. This is rash, this is stupid. It's not stupid, but this is risky. I'm going to take here, and I'm not going to reveal the variations that have... I'm not going to reveal the variations that have... So there's a threat of check here, which then wins the queen. The obvious move is this, and then I go here, and then white takes, black takes, and am I not mating here? How is white getting out of this? What is white got a way out of this? I don't think so. So what that means is here white can't take, and then that's all right, right? So here what, and can white do something else? What can white do here? Oh, white can take here. No, it can't because of this check. Pretty. In fact, so the bishop can run here. Then this looks mind-boggling, doesn't it? I mean, there's this, but I'm loving this for black. So what it all turns on is here. Is this good for black? Takes. Is this good? It's good, right? I mean, this just doesn't work. Like, it does work because the bishop blocks back. I'm so glad we talked about this. Okay, hang on. So this does work. Oh, bishop should be abolished. Check. In correspondence, particularly against someone like Ian, this stuff really matters because you overlook this, well, you just lost. This is not going to work, is it? So basically, the whole concept is flawed. Well, I'm glad we looked at it. I mean, that's what it's all about, right? But it's so annoying. What about here if we take the bishop? One more try. Queen takes, got to take. Check, queen in the way. Lost endgame, come on down. So, what about this? Okay, hang on. What about this? Check here. What about this? Takes here, then this. That looks good, doesn't it? That looks good. So then rook here takes, check at the back, wins the rook. I think this is good. This square can't be defended. Well, can it? Can it be defended by the queen like this? Oh. What? I mean, black can put together some serious threats, but whether they really materialize. What's the pawn count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, we've won some pawns. So what that will mean is then, in this, I bet Ian's looked at all this. Check, king there. So the line we're looking at is, oh, what about this? What about this? This. Oh my. Can you look at that? Takes. Check. Wow. That's really pretty. So what that means is c3 doesn't work because of check, and now you're taking on f2. No, you're not misclicking the bishop. You're taking on f2. And queen can't take that. And if the queen can't take that, then black wins. So what that means is there is no c3. What that means is the whole line's back. Whole line's resurrected. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take with the rook. After this, we're going to go knight here. After this, white takes, we take, and after c3, we're just going to calmly... Oh, we can't. Oh, yes, we can. We're going to play check. We're going to go there. We're going to take there. And we're going to claim, like, so what's the best that white's got? This. And then there, check. And then if the queen goes in the way, we win this rook. And if the queen doesn't go in the way, we win that rook. Woof. I mean, it's so... Should we take a day to think about it? Let's take a day to think about it. Come on. It's not indecision. It's called analysis, isn't it? But I think that's probably correct. And quite pretty too. But something that's really lovely like that, maybe it's worth just savouring it, you know, enjoying it. Okay. Are we done? Is this everything? I'm going to have to skip the difficult games. There's two that I've put off because they were so difficult. It's a bit embarrassing, but I guess that's slightly what correspondence is about, right? Okay, so next... we are going to have a look at chess.com. Okay, this one, to be honest with you, we're just going to stroll towards the centre with our king and see if we can provoke black into creating a weakness, because it's just equal. And without pieces to create weaknesses, these pawn endgames are a bit odd. You know, it's sort of hard to know how you... I mean, things emerge, but I've got a nice move here. I really thought about this. There's lots of analysis here. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go here with the idea of just going h4, h5, h6 and just taking that bishop with the queen, checkmate. And we're going to see, and then when black takes on b2, we're going to put the queen on, the rook on d1 and then go down here. And then there's no mate at the back because the king can escape to h2. This was a dual purpose move. This move did two things at the same time. Dual purpose. It's good if your moves can do that. All right. That's all good. Should we just continue our policy of moving the king to the centre and kind of looking out for weaknesses? We can't get mated, right? Okay, this one, I think we're lucky. I think we got a checkmate. Mate next, right? Yay. Okay. Oh, I've done a lot of analysis here. I've done a lot of that. What you've got to keep analysing is e4. For example, king there, e4, takes, check, and I think black's got the better of that. But it just, well, this, and then black plays this, which I would understand. This, takes, this, and then black king comes there, there. I think that's probably a draw, is it? But risky draw. It's a draw where black's slightly better, because black's slightly closer to invading, one step away from invading the critical squares of that pawn. So I think what this means is that I suppose the question is this, though, isn't it? What if we do this? What if we use this pawn to waste a tempo? This, waste a tempo. Then black has to go there, then we go there. Black has to go there. Is this tempo wasting thing going to get me anywhere? This is the key. Do I need to save that tempo for another time? I think this is a draw, unfortunately, which is a shame, because so we had this game, which was where we agreed a draw. I think if people watch the last episode, this I offered a draw and it was agreed. It's basically a draw. And I think the computer said, well, it's just a draw. Because white can't break through, and if you push the pawn, then it gets taken. So that's awesome. But that means this game actually, if it's a draw, we're joint winners. And if I was to win it, then I'm the winner of the group. But white has slight positional advantages, like a tempo in hand and like a bit more penetration, but I don't think it adds up to much. Maybe I'll do some sort of triangulation to pretend that I'm here. Take the rook. I've got an extra pawn, which makes all the difference in these endings. I think this is a one ending. I mean, let's just take a second to make sure it's a one ending, but it's going to be a one ending. I mean, you can't. Yeah, I think it's one ending. I don't think white can hold this. If you're a pawn, I mean, almost always if you're a pawn up, not always, but almost always, the ending's one for the side with the extra pawn. What would happen if you played g4 here? Would that knight depart the board? I think we want to play g4, don't we? Win a knight. White's space advantage really counts here. I mean, it's making the king a bit windy, but it's a whole piece. And I think there's enough pieces around the king to be safe. Okay, I'm going to play this. I messed this up. I was winning, and now it's queen g7. It'll be programmed in, queen g7, and then I play queen f4, and I just say, well, maybe I can hang on. It's sad. I got it wrong somewhere. Go on then. Yeah, well done. I think that's the right move. Here, I'm going to castle. I think d6 is slightly inaccurate, but whether that's really exploitable? Well, because that means I can play d4 in one go. That's the point, isn't it? It is inaccurate because you should play knight f6 here, because otherwise I can play d4 in one go. But I think, here's what I think. For castle, knight f6, d4 in one go. This doesn't really help. I don't know this. Yeah, I think d6 is slightly inaccurate, and I think the most accurate way to play it is to castle and then play d4. Chess is a funny thing, isn't it? Because in chess, what's wonderful about chess is we get to make all of our own choices and make all of our own decisions. It's one of the wonderful things about it. We don't have to ask anybody else or get permission, but we often find ourselves copying what everyone else has done. Isn't that funny? But we don't have to. We really can think for ourselves. And just occasionally I do. This has been a great game by Josh. This is what I think. So here, if black takes, it's mate immediately. Here, check. We sack the rook. I mean, so we can't sack much more. Lawnmower. Yay, white wins, although with lots of material down, but if you give checkmate, it doesn't matter. So what we're doing is we're going to do rook here. I think this is forcing mate. Been a really good game. Let's play again afterwards. We can play again. I'll have the black pieces. Talking of really good games, I think this is mate, and it's quite a pretty mate because you would say every square is covered by only one piece, but that's not true because this square is covered by the pawn and the rook. Yeah. Yay! What does the analysis say? It said we made two mistakes. Okay, well, let's look into that some other time. Aaron. The odd thing is I had the black side of this in one of my live chess games. So I learned about it, and that's good. It's what it's all about. It's really what it's all about. Is that the last one? Is that all of them? Oh no. Yes it is. Oh, the only one is the conditional move. Oh no, there's this. Against Richard. You castle here. I actually don't know what the move is. 7 days. Who knows what you do here? Can this tell us? It feels like a castling one. Castle is the most popular move. I'm not taking on c6 without being provoked. c3, very unpopular. Well, yeah. Castle. Great. Yeah, very funny. I think my queen's coming here, and then I'm going to argue that I might be able to eke out a draw, because it's very hard for the black queen to... I'll keep pushing the black queen back whenever it tries to escape. And you can't play the f pawn because I take here. You can't take this pawn because my queen's defending it. I may even try and get something over this pawn, but I'm not kidding myself. Like, I've made a mess of this. The question is whether I can draw it. And I think I want to draw it because I think I'm actually quite competitive in this tournament. So it would be really nice to get some points out of that game. Right, let's do one puzzle and then we'll stop. And we won't play a game of bullet. Okay, so king here leaves the queen attacked. What are our threats? Well, that's mate. No, it's not mate. Well, there's only really 2 legal moves, aren't there? Bishop in the way, which looks weird, and king here, which looks... So what's wrong with king? I don't believe there's anything... Oh, king here, there's a check here. So maybe bishop in the way is correct, but then there's a check here. What's even going on? What am I even threatening? Like, we're a piece down. We're a piece down. So what's the big idea? The big idea might be a perpetual check. And if the big idea was a perpetual check, because we're down material, oh, maybe the big idea is the rook coming to h8, checkmate. But then how can I arrange for the rook to come to h8? Gosh. Well, bishop f8 just feels so passive. It's sort of... I've got to believe that it's this. Check. We expected that, didn't we? So now I think I put the rook, the bishop in the way, but then rook h8. What's my threat as black? Is it a perpetual? Maybe the threat's a perpetual. So what if we played king c6? Looks terrible, doesn't it? Well, white can check us all over the board. What if we played bishop d6? It's a better move, isn't it? There's still checks. I mean, but maybe white doesn't want to check, because then rook h8 becomes a... I just think... Oh, look at that. So now there's some threats piling up. So check here, king there, check here, King goes to the back. Check it. Do we bail out with the perpetual? Is that the concept? Because we're down material. There's no mate. And there's never going to be a mate. Ooh. Whack whack. So we try again. But what? Okay, this. I can't see it. Can someone else see it? But what about this? And then the rook's their next move. Well, one of the important lessons in chess is you've got to deal with failure as well as success. But I always find failure better to deal with when you've actually had a success. Okay, check. This is forced. Ooh, it's dangerous. Oh, no, it's fine. We go here. Yeah, because the check here wouldn't win the queen because you put the rook in the way. So now my rook's being attacked. But that's okay because the queen's defending it. What are we even... Why don't we just take the bishop? Hi, it's a free bishop. I'm enjoying this. I mean, I don't quite understand what's going on, but I'm enjoying it. So now the rook's attacked, which now we've got to just defend the rook. There must be a million ways to defend the rook. I mean, here is the most natural move, but we'll rook up here. What's threatened? The check here is threatened. But what it... So king here. Queen there, check. I want to put the rook on here because it's a secure square, and I can't believe that we've got any problems there. I just want to do this. Yeah. Should we do one more and say it's 2-1? Gosh. So we've got some nice dangerous pawns. So queen here would threaten the rook, and queen here would threaten the arrival of the queen here, so that's the right move, isn't it? So that defends the rook. So queen here, check. King runs. 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 Queen takes, rook takes. Maybe it won't get into that. I mean, is there a better move? Okay. Now queen here, check. King. I think it'll stop. What do you think? Well, what is the pawns? Well, here's the situation, right? Queen here, check. King here. Queen takes, rook takes, check. That's not really enough to win. It's a bit unclear. So maybe there's more. Maybe it's queen here, check. King there, and then rook here. Maybe. Okay. And then rook here, do we think? Can this be defended? Can this be defended? Or maybe what we do is... Rook here, queen there. Not particularly good. Well, actually, rook here, queen there hits the rook and the pawn. Maybe it is good. Rook here, Queen there takes. So your queen's got to go there. Then our queen goes there. Hits that rook. Hits that pawn. Carnage. Oh, this was a difficult one, wasn't it? Found this really difficult. Yeah, got to take, because if the king goes there, it's mate there. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you're all well, and see you soon.